Hi everybody, For Sport Life over here. Victor Martinez, going to show you the tricep. I love doing triceps. This is great. This is a good warm-up exercise. Again, it's pretty comfortable. It's easy. Most people do it because it's not uncomfortable, you know. But yet, most people still perform it wrong. Why? Because they either go too low, you know, squeezing, locking out the elbows, or they go too high when they don't need to. Your triceps pretty much need a short full extension to get the full flexion. That's it. You know? So from right here, if you look at me from the side, again, you know, arch your back. You know, you don't want to round off your back, because every time your back is round off, you're opening up your back to getting injured. You know, let's say I'm doing my back is rounded off, and for some reason I let it go. You can pull your back. So, but we'll keep saying that for everything. And right now, again, tricep push downs. This is great. And keep it right here close to you. Want to stay nice and close. You notice I'm close to the machine. I'm not over here. You know, that's something different. You know, and I'm not too close to the machine. You know, you want to get that nice leverage. So from right here, basically, you only want to go from your chest. From your chest, why? Because you're creating that L shape. Your triceps is already flexed. You don't need to flex your tricep. You notice anything higher makes no point. But from here down is when it flexes. Right here. Now, you don't have to lock your elbows either. You just flex your triceps. Now up. What's good about this one, it works both your inner and your outer head on this one. Works on both sides. It's a great exercise. Many times, people want to focus on maybe the outer head, you know. There's an exercise for that too. You know, I'll show you. You could go to single. Right here. You don't need to go as heavy. Again, you're only doing one. When you're doing one, you still got to have that form. So you're standing straight up. Again, you're working the outer. And if you go down, you'll notice, again, stay right here. You don't need to go all the way up here. Right here is high enough. Usually I like to put a hand so I won't go any higher. You know, you usually want to start cheating. And squeeze down. Squeeze down. Squeeze. 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 It's awesome because this, you know, I have to say, usually women, they usually say, oh, my arms flap or something like that. Well, this is definitely a great exercise, you know, that you can do. I'm going to show you also a simple one that you can do at home. Most women, they could do them because they always have that tricep problem. So we're going to do bench dips. Bench dips are great because you can do them anywhere. And again, it's one of my favorite tricep exercises. Of course, with loading weight on my lap. But on this one, I'm just going to do my own body weight. So you can do either here at the gym as a warm-up or at home when you have nothing to do, okay? You don't need much. You just need your own body weight, a couple of benches. And what's good about this, when you perform it, you're using about maybe 50, 60% of your body weight, you know, only because your legs are being elevated. So kind of keep your hands close to you, you know, so it'll be about hips apart. You don't want to go any further or too close. You know, too close is going to be too much on your shoulders. So right there, next to your hips, notice it's right here. Legs up. And what else? Chest. Chest up. You don't want to slope down, okay? And on the way down, you know, notice my arms are in an L-shaped position. They're not going any lower. For me to do this, it's too much. You know why? Because now I'm going to have too much problems on the shoulders. You wanna keep it away from your shoulders, only your triceps, okay? There you go, the bench dips. These are great. They work your outer, they work your inner, and at the same time, gives you mass. This is a very, very good mass exercise, you know. I'm gonna show you one more for the tricep. This one is the kickback. Again, this one's good, gives you good shape, but again, it's all in the form. The form is the thing that changes. Now the kickback, you can do it off a bench. I usually like getting support from a bench only so I won't bounce, you know. Want to keep, see my arch again? See that arch? You always got to have that arch. It's something that's just going to, again, protect your lower back, and it's just going to keep your form perfect. The kickback, you want to keep this part, the bicep, tricep part, very close to your body. Right here. You want to keep it nice and close to your body. Keep your knees bent. Again, the whole objective of this, keep the pressure, your lower back, any pressure on your legs. And again, you don't want any bounce either, okay? Keep it close to your body. And the only moving body part here is your forearm. This is the only part that should be moving, with of course your muscles being flexed. Great. We just did a couple of great exercises for triceps. Now, let's go for the big mama biceps, all right? You know, guys always want to do biceps. When a girl says, let me see your arm, first thing you do is flex, all right? But let's create those arms like a true champion arms, at least somewhat like someone who knows how to train arms, okay? Let's start off first with, of course, your barbell curls. This is as basic and the best thing you can do for your biceps. You don't need to do anything fancy. I mean, I'll show you a fancy one, a good comfortable one, but why go fancy when your form is still not great? But this one, again, it's the mother of all bicep movements, you know, so I'm gonna show you how to do this one. So the barbell, again, it's always gonna be, you know, the straight bar, there's the easy curl bar, but right now we're doing the straight bar. Now, also on width, you wanna keep it enough where it's right on your thighs. You don't wanna, you go close, is it effective? Yes, but it's just working a different head. It's working the smaller head of the bicep. We wanna work on the big head of the bicep, which is right here. The bigger head, okay? So for the bigger head, you wanna hold it yay wide, that's it. Not too wide, you're gonna start going sloppy. Again, you can change your position once you keep learning. The more experience you have, the more flexible you can be. Right now, let's start off from the beginning, all right? So right here, kind of go down, pretty much, you know, curl it, curl it. Most people think, hey, I'm not lifting it all the way to the top. Well, a lot of times, the top does not mean is always right, because if I go to the top, guess what? I just use my shoulders, you know? You don't want to do shoulders. You want to keep away from your shoulders. You want to stay on the arm, okay? I'm going to show you a side profile so you can see where my arm is and how high I'm going. Side profile, again, with, and I'm going to squeeze. 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 That's just, again, that's for bicep. This is the ultimate bicep movement. It's great, can't go wrong. Can you cheat? Of course you can, but not in the beginning. Come on, people, let's get this right, you know? You know what, you're doing 10, 15 reps, the last 5, the last 3, you wanna throw a couple of cheat movements? Just do it, go ahead, kill yourself. But let's not start off with bad habits from the beginning, okay? So the next one I'm gonna show you, which is also one of my favorites, concentration curls. Here we have one single dumbbell. Why I love the single dumbbell? Because it was the first purchase I ever made when I bought weights. And with this dumbbell, I think I did so many, not this one in particular, of course, but the dumbbell itself. I did many, many things with them. I developed my arms, my shoulders, you know, bicep, tricep, you know, back. Single dumbbell could do a lot. But again, you don't want to misuse it, of course, because once false move, you know, first of all, you won't develop or you can get injury. Now, concentration. Why such a long name for some so-called simple exercise? Well, in this one, really, it's not just about lifting the weight. It's about becoming one with the muscle and the weight. You want to connect. You want to connect, you know. So you see people walking around, talking, and they just kind of, you know, hey, Charlie, I'm doing, hey, Charlie, you know, and they're kind of doing this. No, it's not going to work. It's impossible for it to work. Why? Because you're not making that mind-muscle connection. You got to have that connection. And that's not just with this, but also with every other exercise. There's no talking on the phone and doing this, you know? Let's get this shit right, man, all right? Concentration. Take your time. You know, grab the dumbbell, you know? Mind you, the only moving part is gonna be your forearm. That's it. Nothing else move. Your back doesn't move. Your elbow doesn't move. Only the forearm muscle. And you squeeze. Go right to the top. Okay? Right to the top. You want to give this angle. You notice my angle? Kind of goes down like this. Well, it's a reason for it. You want to make sure that the arm you're using is lowest. You know? Let's say I change it. Let's say I want to go down and stay even. Guess what? It's just not going to work. You know, so the angle is very important. The angle is right here. Now, this is the beginning, but a little pickup will help you. You don't want to start, you don't want to leave it at the bottom, so it's right here, okay? Squeeze. 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 One little trick I didn't tell you, but every time at the top, you want to have your pinky. This little pinky right here has got to be a little bit higher. As soon as you turn the pinky, if you notice, you have your palm straight. When you turn your pinky, your bicep moves. It's just automatic. It's going to turn. So you want to do that at the same time while you're executing the exercise, okay? Again. And this right here at the bottom, going up, whoa, peak, 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 peak. See, after a while, let's say you do want to cheat, fine, go back a little. Just go back a little, but not from the initial start of the movement, okay? Some people do it off the bench. I like doing it off the bench too sometimes, but it proves to be slightly more difficult. Why? Because your leg is not supporting your elbow. When your leg is not supporting your elbow, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But on this one, I like it, again, because it gives me more freedom to curl. On this one, notice, elbow doesn't move. Notice on that one, elbow wasn't all over the place. It's great. Peak for your bicep, barbell, thickness, you know. Anything else, you're just going a little fancy, but with these two, you will get the biceps you need, all right? So I don't want to neglect the forearm. The forearm is, you know, small body part. People tend to neglect it. But if you do want to do a forearms, there's always wrist curls. You know, most people do these sitting down. These are great. Very easy, very simple. You know, anybody could do them. Definitely work on your forearms, or I'll show you behind wrist curls. Behind wrist curls are great because it's both arms at the same time. It's great because, again, it's both arms, both arms. You don't want to, you want to really squeeze, really squeeze, really squeeze, really squeeze, really squeeze. So good for forearms, you know. You want to get those big Popeye forearms, you know, it's great. Women shouldn't do it too much. Women don't want big forearms. It looks a little funny, but for the men, work your overall arms.